Today we're going to be covering how do you crush the final week. And so we're going to give you a couple tips and tricks. And this is super helpful if you have a big event coming up and you only have a week and you're like, I need to drop a couple pounds or I need to fit in that dress or whatever. These are literally tips and tools that you can always use. Second thing is we're going to give you some simple homework workout ideas. So I actually have James on that will be sharing with you, like if you don't have equipment, if you don't have a lot of time, what do you do? How do you get the quick workout in? And then we're going to also cover overcoming plateaus, because let's be honest, like weight loss actually is not natural for your body. Did you know that? Because your body is so used to being a certain way. So if all of a sudden you're not having a lot of calories in, or you're doing something different, you're switching your diet, your body's actually very confused. So there are times where we're going to hit plateaus, and there's so many different reasons. Sometimes it's because you're on medication, and sometimes it's because your digestion is not the best, because you're reacting to certain foods. There's so many factors to our overall health. So we're going to go over a couple tips and tricks on how to overcome plateaus as well. But without further ado, I'm actually going to pass it to my co-host Lily, who's going to get us started.
Thank you so much, Becky. So I'm going to be focusing right now about the actually cutting carbs and hitting your protein count. Why is it important for that? Is instead of burning instead of burning carbs for energy, your body now is starting to burn the stored fat for energy first. So another benefit of cutting carbs is that it lowers the insulin levels, causing the kidneys to actually shed excess sodium and water. So this reduces bloating as well as unnecessary water weight. And hitting the protein, we've gone over this before, but hitting your protein count, okay? If you eat lots of protein, it actually boosts your calorie expenditure by 80 to 100 calories per day. So, protein builds muscle. Muscle at rest still burns calories. So that's why it's very important to hit the protein count. So high protein diets can also reduce cravings and obsessive thoughts about food by 60%. So you want to reduce the desire to snack late at night by half, and it helps you feel full. So that's why it's important to hit the protein count. So this slide we're going to be talking about not only carbs, because carbs, if you don't burn it off, it turns into sugar. So are you taking too much sugar daily? So even a healthy carb, we want to keep within 30 grams of carb, especially when you're trying to lose weight. There's a lot of hidden sugars in food. So that's what this slide is showing you. Just one bowl of steamed rice is actually like 13 to 15 teaspoons of sugar. All right. 1 cup of oatmeal. People say it's healthy to eat oatmeal, right? It's good heart health, but it's like equivalent to 12 teaspoons of sugar. So when you say, Lily, I don't eat teaspoons of sugar, but if you're eating a bowl of oatmeal, if you're eating a bowl of steamed rice, you're actually taking teaspoons of sugar. Look at like a portion of egg noodle. That's like a little bit less, but there's still sugar in all these foods. I'm not going to go over all of them, but you can read that for yourself. Even a cup of milk has sugar in it. So what does that really do? Does it really raise your blood sugar level? Of course, a teaspoon of sugar will increase one's blood sugar level, but more dramatic effects are increasingly noted after the consumption of these highly refined carbohydrate foods, such as a slice of bread we talked about and bowl of rice. But even like fruit juice, like the orange there, fruit juice can also elevate your blood sugar level. So how much does 1 gram of carb raise the blood sugar? On average, a gram of carb will raise your blood sugar level by 4 points for someone weighing 150 pounds, or 3 points for someone weighing 200 pounds, right? So you could use a glycemic index to estimate foods, how it raises your blood sugar level. So you can Google that. So I'm just curious, like, did you guys know eating these common food has that much hidden sugar in it?
Shocked me is bananas. Like I did not know growing up, bananas was like a healthy food, right? And I had no idea how much sugar it actually has.
Yeah. And you know what? How many grams of sugar will spike the sugar level? Like 1 gram of pure glucose will raise your blood sugar level by 5 milligrams. And although it can vary from people's weight, but the next slide we're going to go into is why I want to kind of what Becky said. You think broccoli, oranges and stuff are healthy. Yes, they are. But if you're on a weight loss program, you want to actually keep your consumption below 30 grams of carb, no matter if it's a healthy carb like a broccoli or an orange. So the apples and the berries, like the strawberries, are less. So 1 cup, okay, what is 1 cup? If you don't have a measuring cup, hold up your fist like this. That's 1 cup. So if you have a cup of strawberries, that's over 11.6 grams of carb. and you're limited to, we recommend to keep below 30. Even avocado is great for you. Okay, it's a healthy fat and all that. It has carbs. So you don't want to be eating like 3 avocados a day. So I want you guys to keep in mind that healthy carbs, if you don't burn off, sugar, it's not going to be helpful for your weight loss. So again, we wanted to kind of recommend the lower glycemic fruits from apples all the way to the oranges and tangerine. Look at the grapes, it's 15.6, and then bananas, 51.2, Becky, 51.2 grams in just 1 cup of consumption. So I would highly recommend that you guys kind of take a look at this so you are knowledgeable when you're making that choice. At least now you're like, okay, I can eat a pear or I can eat an orange. So kind of, at least you have a gauge. And what really surprised me, Becky, is watermelon. I thought watermelon was higher, but it's not as high as a banana. What I wanted to share with you guys today about, finishing strong, and hopefully today I added some value and, food for thought, like about keeping your carb intake, your sugar level down, and hitting your protein to make sure you finish strong. And I even had someone reach out to me yesterday. They said, I kind of fell off, but I want to encourage you, keep going and reset. I actually had someone that only lost 4 pounds in the month of January. And in 2 days, that person lost 4 pounds. And he said, thank you for encouraging me, because I said, look, this is what you need to do. So I'm as tough on my husband as I am on my clients. So we just need to do it. It works, if you just work it. So I just encourage you guys to just reset that button.
That's really good to know. So the first tip that Lily gave you all is how do we crush the final week? Is be aware of the carbs that are in your food. So again, we're not saying don't eat them, right? It's just if your goal is to crush the final week and you only have a couple days on the clock, just really be aware and try to eliminate as much as possible. Now, the next tip that we're going to give you is dealing with exercise. So I'm actually going to bring James up, and he's going to talk to us about some quick workout ideas.
Hey guys, what's going on? So working out, I just feel like there should be some background music going on and everything. This is one of the biggest tips, especially if you're trying to cut down fat fast, especially during the last week, but also something for the long run to understand as well. Who here would love to be able to eat more and burn more fat? Would you like that? Yeah, that's what I'm all about and everything. So there's a couple of hacks that you can do here. So number one, did you know that when you work out fasted, so you don't have food in your system, imagine you do this in the morning. When you work out fasted, did you know that you can burn up to 300% more fat than if you're working out after, if you eat or something like that? Now, some people in the beginning, they're like, I don't know if I can work out fasted. Can I do that? Your body will tap into a lot of energy when it's fasted already. So you don't have to worry too much about it unless you're doing some Olympic type of sport. Most of us don't need some pre-workout stuff. You don't need an apple. You don't need a meal before you work out, but you can do it fasted. So do it fasted. Another thing is did you know that the more muscle you have, the more lean muscle you have, the more fat that you burn resting? So that's why you see body composition. So it's not just about the weight on the scale. It really is about what's the ratio of your fat percentage and your muscle percentage. So it's important to do some type of resistance training to boost up more muscle, and then you can boost up your fat loss as well too. And for those that are scared of, oh, if I work out, am I going to get all muscular? Am I going to look like a bodybuilder? No, that takes a lot of work to be able to do. If people could grow muscle that fast, wow, they would be rich because people would wish that they could have that. But just know, having some type of consistent resistance training, even if you're a female, I know a lot of women are like, I don't know, I just want to do that elliptical cardio machine. If your goal is to lose fat, if your goal is to be at a good weight and to look and feel good, it's important to have some resistance training in there as well too. Now, when I say resistance training, that doesn't mean be doing deadlifts and squats and doing things like that. If you like that, great. But even your body weight can do a lot as well too. When was the last time you tried to do a push-up? Not as easy as what you might think. So here's some things to consider as little types of circuits that you can do. I'm a big fan too about efficient workouts, because you might be a busy mom or you're busy with work. So what about 20 minutes? We might be able to fit that in. So on this page, here's a couple fun challenges to consider. Right. And you can make and pick and choose what they want, and also look at your body and go with your body. I know everyone has different types of physical limitations. If you know there's some movements you just can't do, obviously don't do them, and make it so that it's flexible towards what makes sense for you, right? But you just want to move. You want to do something right there, right? Okay. So what do you want to do here? Well, here's a fun one that you can try. And I challenge everybody here to try this week at some point and report back. What was your experience like? It might be transformative for you. Okay. So push-ups is one simple thing that you can do. What you want to do, put on a timer for 20 minutes and then do as many push-ups as you can. Now you can do it normal push-up. You can do it where you do it on your knees, whatever that it is that gives you a good workout. What's the goal? So that you put resistance on your body, so you break the muscle fiber down so it can be built back up. Okay. It is simple and it definitely does work. Number 2, squats, air squats. Oh my gosh. Try 50 of them. You're going to have some fun. Your legs are going to be burning right there, right? So do push-ups, do squats. Once you feel like you hit a pretty good amount where you're pretty tired, move on to the next one. Sit-ups. Oh, some of us haven't done sit-ups in a while. That one might be fun right there. Do as many sit-ups as you can. Once you're done with your sit-ups, then do the opposite side. Do Supermans. Superman, when you're laying on the ground and you're literally trying to raise your upper torso and your bottom torso, that's going to work out your back. This is a full body workout, guys. This is going to be a good one. Okay. After that, let's go. You did your thighs and your quads with the squats. Now let's do some calf raises. Just stand there and move up your calves. If any of these you need to look up, just Google it. How do you do it properly? So calf raises. And then finally, a lot of people's favorites, planks. You're going in a position where you're on your elbows, you have your knees elevated, and you're just holding that there for as long as you can. 30 seconds is already hard for most. Maybe you could do a minute. Yeah, maybe we should do a plank contest. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that one's intense. And once you're done with that, guess what? Do it all over again and keep on doing this cycle for just 20 minutes. We can do something for 20 minutes, right? This will kick your butt. Okay, so there's one type of an example of what you can do. On this right side, you can also look at some others as well too. We're also big fans of high intensity interval training. So HIIT, that's what it stands for. So periods of sprints, periods of fasting, so like jumping jacks and jump rope and these types of things. Or on this right side, here's another good core workout that you could do too. This one I would say is probably a little bit more intense of a workout circuit that you can do, but all of them will kick your butt in a pretty good way. And it's going to help you to cut down the fat even faster. Okay. But I have to warn you, all right, this is not for the faint of hearted. 20 minutes might seem simple, but there is a person that I guess is a popular name today by the name of Mr. Jack Liu. We did a circuit like this. It wasn't that long. And what happened was we finished the workout and he definitely was blasted from the workout. And as we were talking at the end of this workout, Jack was like, I'm not feeling too good. His face went totally white. He's like, I got to go take a seat right here, you know? So, and he's fine. That was an intense one. We had some weights and stuff like that as well too. So
I know you said a lot of people have vomited. So at least my 60 plus, he held his own. He did
do well. But he pushed himself, you know? So we're not saying to kill yourself like that, but maybe you want to as well too, you know? So the challenge this week is do some type of workout. So but what's the mission? The goal is pick something that you can do, pick something that's going to push you to the next level. These are just some ideas, but pick something that you can do and will get you to the next level.
So that's tip number 2. If you want massive results during your final week of this challenge, to make sure that you incorporate some exercise to be able to really just speed up that weight loss process as well. Now, let's talk about overcoming plateaus. So I know this can be really frustrating sometimes when you seem to be doing everything right, but you're not getting the results that you want. So if anytime you or people that are on this program that you're helping with are experiencing plateaus, double check with them. Hey, are these things that you're doing, right? So for example, the green box says, are you taking SlenderX 3 times a day and Accelerate 2 times a day? You'll be so surprised. So many people that are on the program, they're not reading instructions. So they're actually not even taking the drops appropriately. So if it's not in the system, it's not going to work for you, right? So make sure that you do that. And there's a specific reason why these formulas or remedies are formulated a certain way for it to do its job, right? And another thing could be maybe you're having digestive problems, maybe you're constipated and you're not able to go to the bathroom, but make sure you're checking that, right? The way that we said 3 times a week to 3 times a day could be healthy ranges. It really kind of depends on your body too. So make a note of that, right? And if you are feeling constipated, there are things that you can do, go back to our previous coaching sessions. But for example, you can take an extra serving of Giving Green. You can try taking an extra 2 capsules of Magni-Cal D, which all helps you go. Okay, so that's another thing. And maybe you're taking medications in a purple box. You can ask yourself, okay, maybe it's some medications that's having, because we all know medications have a ton of side effects, right? But sometimes we have to be on them, right? And so you want to make sure that you are taking our Restorix, which is our detox, to detox some of the side effects that it's having, but give yourself some time, right? Because some of us have metabolic syndrome and we're sick for a very long time, and you just started on this program. It's only been a couple weeks, and you don't want to force yourself, right? You want to give your body time to heal, right? You need to give the product some time to reset your metabolism, to increase that inflammation, to detox all the junk that's been in your gut and in your body. So give yourself some time, right? Specifically our Nutrify, the nutritional line, it takes at least 2 to 6 months to, for it to really heal your body completely. So make sure that you just give yourself some time and give yourself some grace. So don't rush, right? Especially you're taking medications. A lot of medications have horrible side effects. Another thing could be if you're weightlifting, if you're lifting heavy weights in the gym, maybe you're gaining muscle, right? So don't worry about the scale specifically. Maybe you need to take some before and after photos to really see, or some progress photos and compare to see maybe you're just gaining more muscle and that's why the scale is not going down, right? So James mentioned this, it's about your body composition, not necessarily just a number on the scale, right? And now maybe you're not drinking enough water. Those 3 main focuses of being on this program: making sure you're following the food list, making sure you're hitting your protein count, like Lily mentioned, and making sure that you're drinking enough water, because water is what helps us flush out all the fat, burn the fat cells in our system. Our body is made up of 60 to 70% water. So you absolutely need that, right? Well, another thing is maybe you have hidden sugar in what you're eating, right? Lily mentioned this earlier, like maybe you're having something that you're not supposed to be eating on this program and you didn't realize that, right? Because a lot of people, for example, eat bananas and oatmeal for breakfast, and those are not on the list for a reason, right? So we heard from her how much carbs is in all of them, and it essentially, if it's not burned, it just converts into fat. So you want to make sure you double check, right? Maybe you're using some dressings or sauces that you've been relying on because you don't want to eat plain chicken every day and you don't realize there's actually sugar in there. So make sure that you check the ingredients and make sure that there's no hidden sugar or hidden, like anything that's not supposed to be healthy for you, right? I had a client I was speaking with this week, had a salad dressing that had sugar in there. Yep, exactly. So that's very common, right? Sometimes there's a reason why it takes some time to get into the healthy routine because you're not used to it, right? So it's a new thing you're introducing to your body. So give yourself some time. But this checklist, like I mentioned, is available in Guide 9. So make sure you reference that, right? And we all need reminders. I know some of you might feel like, oh, I know that already, but are we applying them, right? So if we're not having results, we might need to revisit some of them and make sure we check them off the list, right? So, and lastly, I just want to encourage everybody that in order to get fully fat adapted, what does that mean? That means that you're having stable energy. You're not eating one meal and needing a nap after. That means you don't have a ton of cravings. When you're stressed, you're not like, I need to eat like a jar of jelly beans or whatever, right? That means you have a clear mind, that you're not talking to someone and zoning out and have no idea what they just said because you're just like, confused. And that means that you have better endurance in the gym. That means you are losing body fat. Even if you're not trying to lose weight, you will notice your body composition shifts, that you're getting some more definition. Maybe you're losing the belly weight, right? So these are the signs that you're getting fat adapted. And that's our goal. And being on this program, incorporating all these health habits will help you get to this position. And that's when you know your body is now efficiently burning the fats and the carbs from the food. And it's actually targeting our stored body fat for energy rather than our protein or carbs, right? And also keep in mind that it takes on average 3 to 12 weeks to become fully adapted if you follow the program, right? And it will take longer for someone that's insulin resistant. So if you know someone or if you yourself is pre-diabetic or diabetic, it might take some time. So give yourself some time, right? Know that this is a journey and just keep on incorporating good habits into your daily routine until it becomes a lifestyle. And soon you'll get into that position where you literally are just always fat adapted. And when you go on vacation and eat, food that are not really healthy, but you're not gaining a ton of weight after, you're not feeling super inflamed and get acne everywhere and like have all these reactions because your body is now fully adapted and it just detoxes by itself. So I want to encourage you. That's our goal. And that's where we're moving forward towards too. I hope you learned something. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, James, for sharing your perspective as well. Bye, everybody.